wants to see their children or their parents go hungry, let alone themselves. But it is becoming a more serious problem since SNAP benefits went down last month.
Yeah, WMAR News' Ashley McDowell was at a protest right in front of City Hall tonight where people say they just need a little help getting something to eat.
That's right, Kelly and Jamie. These groups came together at the end of last year to rally for an end to the food deserts in Baltimore City. Now, with the recent end of additional SNAP benefits, they say this has become an emergency to bring them back.
So, is this about SNAP benefits or is this about a food desert? Because those are two different issues. If you have a food desert, then that means that you don't have a grocery store within, I believe, 3 to 5 miles. So you have to travel further, which can make it difficult. Or the benefits that ended, the pandemic related benefits where the food stamps were given back to what the pre-pandemic levels were. And everyone is up in arms about that in all these states. But today it's about Baltimore because they are protesting. The title is, shout out to WMAR, Protest to End Food Deserts. So those are two different issues, and yet they seemingly are bringing them together. So let's see what they're talking about here.
Got money for war, can't feed the poor. Got money for war, can't feed the poor.
People marched in solidarity in front of City Hall to fight for food access.
But why did the food stamps have to get cut down? What is that about?
So they want to protest the fact that they're going to get the same amount of food stamps that they got pre-pandemic. The pandemic is over. So when I say things like depending on the government don't make any sense, we need to do better. We need to figure out a way to take care of ourselves instead of depending on the government. And people want to get upset with me, goes in one ear and out the other. So it's better just to go protest, think that the government is going to help you, think that you can go talk to anyone at the government, think that they're going to change what it is that they're doing, like especially in a lickety split. And yes, I said lickety split. We be wasting time on things that don't make sense. And then I'm trying to let people know, particularly Black people, and then I get attacked for it. Why is it that something that was temporary, do people think that it should have kept on going? Temporary means not forever. It means there's an end in sight. And everybody is okay with going back out and going out to eat and going and shopping and going on vacation and going to the mall and hanging out and dancing and partying and drinking and everything else. And then all of a sudden, it's not right, it's not fair, because no one said that you couldn't get the food stamp. They just said it's going back to the level that you actually qualify for. And now there's all this, it's not right, it's not fair. A food desert. What's that got to do with this?
SNAP benefits today.
On March 1st, the pandemic-era boost SNAP benefits ended. That dropped the average benefit by a little over $80 a month. Jeanette Snowden lives in Sandtown, Winchester, one of the food deserts in Baltimore.
We stand up and fight.
She, like many others, is one who had her food stamps cut. She says she now relies on food distribution programs to get the necessary healthy food.
I'm a person that have deteriorated cartilage in my joints. So food is important for me. Proper.
Okay, so this lady is elderly. Okay, I saw the way that she was walking. Listen. Ma'am, I'm sorry. I do believe, again, that veterans, elderly, and disabled should absolutely be on this program. Absolutely. And it sounds like you are on the program, okay? And that's a good thing. I'm glad that you have something. But I'm just trying to understand when anyone is ever going to try to see that the real problem and issue is all of these people, I'll just say people, who want to have all these kids. I guess that kind of gives it away. And then want all these daggone benefits. And then they're taking like thousands and $1,500. You're barely getting 87. So what you're marching for at this point is for them to continue to get what they get, which blows you out of the water. So this protest is still not going to do any good except for those people. Like, why are we not seeing this stuff? You're fighting for people that don't care about you. Come on now. And where they at? Are they down here too? Are they down here with you? Are they out here doing any work? No, I don't see no women with no kids down here. I don't see no younger people down here. Why is that? Why is that?
For food, to try to arrest some of the deterioration.
Others fighting for the restoration of expanded food stamps say this cut also has a big impact on the children.
Kids don't get breakfast in the morning from school. They may not get breakfast at all.
The kids, you will get free lunch and breakfast typically in these types of places and areas. So I'm not sure what this man is saying. Am I positive in Baltimore? I am not, but definitely in most of these places, especially in this area in the city, they offer free lunch and free breakfast, typically.
Because the mother's food stamps have been cut so significantly.
Whose food stamps? Hold on. Whose food stamps?
Get breakfast at all. Because the mother's food stamps have been cut so significantly that they have to decide whether or not they're going to pay for clothes or pay for food.
Pay for clothes, pay for food. Okay, so the mother's food stamps have been lowered. So the mother's food stamps been lowered. So he said it, so I'm going to go, oops, sorry, y'all. So he said it, so I'm going to go ahead and be like, oh, so it's the mothers, okay? So I would ask, as always, and for everybody else, we going to go out here. We going to have these kids. We not married. We ain't got no significant relationship. We could just going to have these daggone kids and keep having them and then expect the government to take care of them and feed them, of course. And we shouldn't have anything to say about it, of course. But then if it gets stolen, shout out to the white people, then we should be upset and outraged that them food stamps that we pay our tax dollars for didn't get to them, huh? Half damn crazy.
Going without food or eating, from the dollar store, oodles of noodles. The nutrition level of young people and elderly people is falling because of this crisis.
Sharon Black is with the People's Power Assembly and Food is Right campaign. She says the additional SNAP benefits were given for COVID emergency. Now, she is asking for government officials to alleviate the crisis of inflation by restoring the aid.
Well, we think the crisis is even bigger now with inflation. And so we still need an extra allotment of food stamps to cover the crisis that people are feeling in the communities in Baltimore.
Oh, to cover the crisis of what they feel. They feel like it's a crisis. How come no one ever asked about what did you bring to the supplement? Because food stamps is a supplement. So you should be adding something to it. You don't ever hear those questions asked. You don't hear anyone talking about that. But we learned that, okay, when we looked over the food stamp program on the USDA website. But nope. Nobody want to talk about that. Nobody want to put the onus back on people who keep having children, who can't afford the kid that they have, but they have more. Not trying to be in a marriage or a relationship with the father of the kid. And we're not supposed to say anything about that. We're not supposed to say anything about where our husband is. We're not supposed to say anything about where the father is. We're not supposed to say anything about our tax dollars. We can't say anything, y'all, when it has to do anything, when we have questions and things that make sense. But then they always want to say, you should be outraged because you don't know where your money has went. And you need to go ahead and you need to say something to the government. They got money for wars, but not for the poor. They don't. Exactly. So, child, it's like talking to the damn wall. I might as well talk to this damn fly. He must have went to sleep for the night.
Sharon Black tells me they are looking to get 1,000 signatures on a petition to the city, state, county, and federal government with demands of restoring SNAP benefits, rolling back prices, and ending food deserts.
So they want to end the food desert, which means that they would have to get a store to agree to come into the area. They want to make sure that the food stamp goes back to the levels of the pandemic. And they want to make sure that when the food store comes in, that they reduce the prices and that don't reflect inflation. Yeah, all of that sounds like it makes sense and it's really going to happen. So they really just seriously out there wasting their time. But good luck. That's it. That's all. If you made it this far, I do appreciate you. Please consider subscribing. I will see you all in the next one.